So, hello, welcome everybody. Thanks you so much for being here. We really appreciate that you take time to be in this artist roundtable. Um, I think my name is Cornelia Kish from Culture Action Europe. I work in the Culture and Health department of two people in Culture Action Europe. My colleague is here, Marie Wittig as well. And we will be kind of facilitating this artist roundtable. So the purpose of this artist roundtable is to really be freely sharing and networking together with two very inspirational presenters who are artists in the field of painting and drawing in the area of culture and health and further, let's say, because it's kind of can be also a wider space. We also can talk about socially engaged arts as a preventative way within the health area. We have, I'm going to share my screen to start the presentation. So we will start by very quick overviewing what the Culture and Health Platform is about, because maybe not everybody is aware of that, because it's a relatively new project that has started in 2024 November, and it will last for 4 years. And I think it's very relevant for everyone working in this field who may not even know that they are actually working in this field, especially if we are talking about socially engaged arts. And we will have two presentations, one from BIANCA KAPLAN from Association Oltre, and another one from MERINDA ŠEFIC from the Academy of Fine Arts, University of Zagreb. And afterwards, we will go into breakout rooms where also we will be able to exchange with you separately in smaller breakout rooms of maybe, let's say, 10 people or so, to really connect with each other and see what advice you can give to the other, what were your experiences, and of course also to learn from each other, because there is a huge wealth of knowledge of artists in this field, and it's always good to know what the others have been doing, because then of course not maybe you can take some learnings out of other people's work as well and get inspired by that. So basically this Culture and Health platform actually comes from the Culture for Health project, which created a Culture for Health report, which kind of is a research, one part of it is a research document, which kind of puts together how culture and cultural activities contribute to health and well-being. So we looked at how health and how culture also contributes to individual well-being and community well-being. And out of this project, when it ended, it was came the Culture and Health Platform, which is going to be a 4-year-long platform from the Creative Europe Platform grant. And there was also another project called CARE, which we call the sister project. And you see, we also visually try to connect the two projects. No. So the Culture and Health Platform has many partners. They are called platform members. And we are covering all these countries, but it is still an EU-wide platform. It is just really good to have an organization in these countries on the ground. And BIANCA KAPLAN currently is working in Associația Oltre, and actually they are hosting two artists currently in a so-called shadowing program to see how community arts and relational arts can help people's well-being. No. It go further. Okay. So what are the platform's actions? We will, in the 4 years, we have calls for implementing projects in this year on national level. So actually in the countries that we have shown you, we are selecting 3 artists per year in 12 countries to implement a project in the area of culture, health, and well-being. Next year, we will also have an EU-wide call, which will probably around 2026, February, March, where we will be selecting 8 artists. This platform grants is also very much about supporting and building the capacities of artists with online trainings and live trainings. And you will see in our website some of the upcoming trainings or discussions that we are offering. We also have an artist shadowing program where emerging artists can learn from more experienced artists like Bianca. And we also have some mobility funding to have this cross-border element. Our platform partners are mentoring the artist within their national context. And we also have one mega event per year, we call it, which is about increasing the visibility of the field of culture, health, and well-being, and showcasing the work of the artist in this area. And now I'm getting to actually what we are doing now. We are doing a cross-border networking event, which we have come up with this concept of online artist roundtables. This is the very first roundtable that we have, because we see that there is so much wealth and knowledge of artists in this field, and maybe the best is to let you talk to each other. So this event really is purposefully a very casual, easygoing event, and I hope many of you will also put on your cameras later on so that we can see you, because it's also always better to network with the people with the face. We also have awareness-raising webinars for the health sector and the social sectors in order to basically raise the demand, let's say, in this area, and also for them to understand what culture can bring in their field. And now I'd like to give the word to BIANCA KAPLAN, who would be our first speaker from Italy. Yeah, I think I will just introduce yourself. That's the best way. Thank you.
So yes, I'm Bianca, and well, I'm originally from London, but I moved to Italy, and the first point was coming to Camere d'Aria, which is a cultural centre, and it's a part of Associazione Oltre. So just to give you a brief idea of what is this cultural centre, here there are a lot of different workshops that take place. So there is a bicycle workshop, fabrics tailoring workshop, there's fixing computer workshops, theatre, dance. It's really a whole mix of things. There's really a lot of different workshops, kitchen cooking workshops. So and then obviously there are performances as well that take place. So the nice thing about this place is that when you come here, you don't already need this curriculum, but you come and you say, I've got this idea, let's make it happen, and this place really welcomes you with open arms. So about my practice and what I do, I specialize in printmaking, and printmaking that's not just screen printing, but also different types of ways of printing, even at home. So here I hold these workshops, and we have thought about many how to unify health with art. So an example of this is the big festival, soup festival, and here it's an opportunity for people who maybe also live in poverty, that also have difficulties with their health, can also come and have access to free soup and have access to the art that comes with it. So this is again through workshops given at this part in this park, and making it accessible for different kinds of people. So and of course there is also this shadowing program. So there is a neighborhood in Bologna where there's been some funding going towards the welfare and art, and it's about uniting all the different associations of the area. And to do this, it was thought to hold these workshops, but for people with vulnerabilities, with difficulties. For example, maybe the elderly could fall into this category, maybe very young children could fall into this category. Others that can fall into this category is teenagers with difficulties, people with health difficulties. So we are dedicating the second week of May, which is coming up, to facilitating these workshops and helping for the well-being of people. So in fact, through the platform Culture for Health, there have been invited these two international artists. They're actually, it's a coincidence, they're both coming from Berlin, but they are not German. So one is originally from Thailand, and the other one is from the northern Italy. And they will come, and this is a great opportunity because they will show us what they also have learned in the cultural centers that they work at, or the workshops that they hold, and the kind of different groups of vulnerable people they work with. So it's important. I want to also add that also starting the printmaking workshops that I have with Associazione Oltre. So I don't represent, I haven't founded the association, but I am an artist that works closely with the association. But that this also gave me the confidence to go and hold these workshops elsewhere. For example, I also hold these workshops in a homeless shelter. So in a homeless shelter, in a community hub, again, for homeless people, and a community workshop space for homeless people. So some difficulties that come through this is involving the people, because someone says, oh, I can't, I don't know how to draw, or I don't know how to do this, and I won't, I don't do it. But what I tend to say is, when you write down a shopping list, when you go to the shop and you write down a list, you don't say, oh, I'm not a writer, so I can't write this shopping list. So it's a lot about this thing of really giving confidence to these people, giving confidence, and also some feedback from these participants. Here I'm specifically talking about homeless people and vulnerable people. They gain this confidence, and one person has also said it distracts me from my addictions, because often they do come from these difficult backgrounds. Maybe they finished a period in jail, or they've had a rough life on the road, and obviously with this comes your health drops. So it's really beautiful seeing how art can really push people, even if it's for those 2 hours of the day, and you push them to do something they haven't before, and they look at it. So I also want to add that in Camera d'Aria, Associazione Oltre, they also hosted an exhibition for these homeless people, specifically homeless people, to showcase their work. And so they came to the space, they sold the works as well, So this was a bit of a push of, look, if you dedicate some time into an artistic project, you can earn from this, and it's also just enjoyable, a part of from the side of the if you can make money, but it's a really nice push. So yes, these are the important things. And also their work has been put together monthly into a zine. For those who don't know what a zine is, it's an A5 booklet. So each month there's a collection of all their works. And yes, so exactly through this, also talking now about the shadowing program that Culture for Health has helped, has facilitated. It's also very useful because it really brings stimulation from other artists, and also talking about the difficulties that arise if it's financial issues. Maybe there's always cuts in funding, so it's taken away from the culture and put into other areas. And so yes, it's nice not to feel alone, and how these things really do make a change. It really helps unite in this case with the shadowing artists, the neighborhood, and it also inspires them to hopefully go back to their countries and start projects. Yes, I don't know how long I've taken to speak, but
Maybe you can share your screen to show a little bit of.
yes.
And also, what also interests us is again how you make. You gave this very nice example of when you write your shopping list. You don't say that you're not a writer, but how you, like, if you have some tips and tricks of how to, what to say to these people to start engaging.
Yes, yeah. Oh wait, I think I'll share. Is it sharing? It says my screen is
Yeah.
sharing. That's correct. Okay. So yes, so how to involve them. So at the start, I use so for example, I use language which is specific to them, language which is to try and push and say, why don't you first try this? So it's already difficult to have someone hold a pencil. So once they get to that stage, I can push further and further and do this. And sometimes this is personal to me, and how I kind of deal with trying to involve them. But sometimes I honestly drag them. Like I hold their hand, I'm like, come with me, I want to show you something. And I promise you that this works. This really works, because it's kind of this really friendly approach. And I physically take them, and we kind of have a laugh, and I'm like, just come and see what I'm doing. So it's kind of showing what I'm doing. And then they try. So it's really curating relationships. I find it's not just why don't you just do this? Okay, you can go now out. No, it's more of this thing. An example. So my screen is shared, right? So I can show you. It should load. Okay, this is in Italian up here, but it's okay. For example, a nice example I would say was this is one of the zines. Wait, actually, I'm going to show you first of all the zines. So here you can see the collage zine. And in the collage zine, this was the first one of the workshops. So they cut out some images. I hope it loads. Yes, they cut up some images, and with the images they wrote some responses. So as you can see, some thoughtful responses. I love this here. It says, don't lose two things in life. One is the last bus, and the second thing is your loved one. And I think it's just, I love it. And okay, and then it goes on, and there's other examples. This is quite nice once it loads. It's also, yeah, having fun with it, not being too serious. And let's see. Okay, I wanted to just show this one. I hope it loads really. If not, I can just quickly show from my desktop. So zine. Okay, it's a bit messy, but Okay, no, it loaded. So here it says in Italian, like the body, health, corpo e mente, everything is united together, and don't dare nulla per scontato, so don't take anything for granted. And it's all these really nice messages that come about when we communicate. So this was the exhibition that was held, and these are the zines. So the zine I will show you, which I think is really lovely, is the writing zine, this edition. So what I did was I put some images on a table, and they wrote a response of to the image that they saw. So an image, no, I'm just thinking which one might be I hope it loads. Okay, so it's kind of this an example. So I'm sorry, it is in Italian because it is in Italy, but it talks about what's life for? Is it for talking? Is it made for working? Is it made for your family? And it's just, and there's the other one. It says it's a bit more poetic. So you're born in the light, and it's talking about the kind of the body, and it's talking about energy and the spirit. This is very spiritual one, but overall it's lovely how there is this, a visual image, and they think about their personal life, about their well-being, or they put apart the difficulties they might have, and art makes them stay better. I mean, I've had a lot of feedback from people that have said, yeah, your workshops really, people walk out the room with a big smile on their face, or they want to look at other people's artwork. This one here talks about the Italian bureaucracy, kind of like the police and the foreigners, and I guess every country has its difficulty, but this is one here. And yes, and creative and beautiful, really, really beautiful artworks. So this is someone that has never really drawn before, and they created this I find this beautiful monster here with this kind of different tones. So yes, the link is strong. What I found is the link is really strong between well-being and art. And once again, thanks to Culture and Health for facilitating these artists that will come here and help run these workshops, which we will in the neighborhood the second week, to introduce people who have never worked maybe with art before, to try and even just do a splat or something creative, and say, oh yeah, I remember that day that we did this.
Great, thank you so much. I was wondering if anybody would have some questions to Bianca from the people here.
Maybe I have one question, Bianca, if it's possible. I was just wondering, Bianca, was there any follow-up with and I imagine there's a lot of work already involved in these. I was just wondering, do you have a sense for these people, if it was something they were able to continue on their own, if they ask for more? Because sometimes we see that where just one workshop is great, but they might come back or ask for. I was just wondering if you had that experience.
Okay, this is a good question. Yeah, like if you're asking if there is, if it's not just a temporary thing, but if there's something that goes beyond this. Yes. So what I also hope to do through these workshops, I hope you can see the images on here. These are examples of workshops. Is also give them the confidence to eventually start mini projects of their own. For example, coming to these spaces and them holding these workshops with the competencies and the skills that they have learned. We do also, yes, and also when it comes, we do also have to consider that some of these people that take part of the workshops, if we're talking about about homeless people, there's a whole kind of process to deal with before maybe this stages arrive. So maybe some people are diabetic, or they have really severe health problems. So obviously this must take priority. But what I hope to do through this is to really give them the confidence to continue this even amongst themselves. And I did write a how would you call it, because I'm thinking a bit in Italian, an application to receive funding, where there would be something structured, where these people would have the opportunity to use the space here in Camere for them to hold workshops. So I am engaged in writing applications to find funding for these things. There was one that wasn't successful already, but yes, it's about this. But I can't tell you now, being honest, I can't tell you now that they're already doing it, because this is something that I've also started quite recently. So, but I really would love to continue in this direction. I'll tell you another quick example, that I will also start working in a prison here, and I'm very excited about this, because I think it would be a really interesting area to work in. But I wonder if through that I can also learn something from them and see what do these people want. In fact, the exhibition that we held, we're actually holding another one in July, because there has been questions of, oh, can we put them up? So there is participation and interest.
Thank you so much, Bianca, and congratulations. Sounds like a wonderful program and workshops.
Thank you.
Actually, to bring this to give another example, I've been myself talking to another artist and another project in Lithuania, working also with homeless. And it was a visual artist, and again, a little bit similar principles, that they also, of course, showcase their work in a real museum. They brought them to real museums, so they also feel it's also for them, and not just for other people. And the results there actually were that at least 4 of them either got a job, or really like found purpose in their life. So it really had imagine about the the percentage from 30 people, that 4 of them actually got a job, or decided to found their path in life. Yes, from a policymaker point of view, yeah. Imagine that then, of course, the social security and so on costs are also, let's say, dropping. But of course, the most important thing is that they gave them a purpose life.
Yes.
Sandra?
I was curious, thank you for your presentation. I was curious if you thought about involving other practitioners in your workshops, like doctors and so on, like just to bring people from more backgrounds into this.
So okay, I'll quickly say, in terms of artists, I did invite 2 artists to hold workshops, but exactly with people you mean with that are not artists, exactly. So yes, the answer is I have thought about this, and in fact, through this shadowing program that we're doing at the moment, on Saturday we will have a social worker that will come in, and we'll talk about how the kind of the depth of how to work with these with vulnerable people. So maybe it's not quite a huge obviously I have this background, but I think as a social worker you have more in depth and knowledge of these things. So yes, this thing will start from Saturday. There's also someone that's working. It is a bit more artistic, but working with it's called Teatro dell'Oppresso, which is kind of the oppressed theatre. So that also specializes with people with disability. So this and. So it's important to involve people from different cooperatives and associations. And in fact, this week we will be going to different associations And I think that is a really good opportunity to continue to develop these things and find people that can be involved externally who aren't artists, but like I said, social workers. Did you have any particular job type, like jobs in mind, or people that could do this? Because it's also useful for me to know to continue in this.
What came to my mind, but I don't know these organizations by myself. I just heard about them. It was this model of the free clinics in Greece. Uh, and I know that they had so they were focusing on health, but they had a more integrative way of working with people that needed support. So yeah, I was thinking about, I don't know, social worker. Yeah, was the first that came to my mind, but also um, um, doctors, and also I don't know, anthropologists would be very similar to social workers. But then I wonder, how do you create the space of not of leveling the power that it's creating there, the power balance that is creative there, and if it wouldn't be too much for them, to have uh, like the specialists that would take them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned anthropologists and yeah, this is really, they look at these things massively. In fact, some people who are studying anthropology and are writing their essays are really involved in these projects massively, and they do go to these centers. So I think it's fundamental to have them. Also, that they have this really interest in people, rather, for example, I'm just thinking how to structure this. So for example, with there is this cooperative that works, as I said, helping the homeless, but there's also this thing that it's done in a way where sometimes it doesn't always help the person, but it's thought of the way of how can we insert them into our way of living, how can we have them, how can we facilitate them to accommodate the way that our needs, and this is a whole different subject perhaps, but exactly our way of living, and it doesn't really focus on the needs of these people because maybe someone comes from here, but in fact anthropologists are fundamental in this debate, because they are curious in the person. So I have not studied anthropology, but I know that they are interested in the people rather than the kind of the structures, the systems, the bureaucracy, and all of this thing. But this is something I will bear in mind, definitely continuing with this path that I am taking, and how to continue to involve. Even so, now social workers are becoming involved, but even, like you say, hospitals, and how can we go there and do something in hospitals, for example. So yeah, it's very useful to hear this.
Actually,
I would
co-design with the social worker is very important, and often it takes even half a year to do that. And I think you kind of just do it, it seems. But in the process, you're learning from that. But you mentioned that you will be working in the prison, which would bring me to Melinda now, and we can continue the discussion in the breakout room. Sorry that Ruxandra, that I stopped this slow, because then it will be, we will have time to talk in the end. So, but I'd like to give the word to Melinda, who actually works in prisons as well as hospitals. Melinda, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, hi everybody. I will share my screen. Okay, and I will start with the presentation. Everybody can see it?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I'm MERINDA ŠEFIC. I'm from Croatia. Well, originally I was born in Serbia and I came to study in Croatia because I'm half Croatian and half Hungarian. And since 2006, I'm living in Croatia, in Zagreb. I finished here the Academy of Fine Arts, and in 2018 I finished my PhD studies on the topic of aesthetization of hospital environment. So the benefits, I was doing a research how murals can bring to benefit not just on aesthetic context, not just in the aesthetic context, but in the therapeutic context, and what are the values of implementation of murals in the hospital environment. I carried out more than 40 projects in hospital, in prison, in public space in general, in schools, in kindergarten, and also in the homes for children without parental care. And I will just start a project with the elderly home where they invited me to do a research and a mural on the with the Alzheimer patients. So I'm so curious what will come out from that. As you can see, more than 260 murals are carried out in my projects, and more than 50 artists were involved, and they went through educations and further on. So I'm collaborating with the Croatian Art Association. I was the member of the board for 8 years. And mostly the bigger projects that are, for example, the prison projects and bigger hospital projects I carry out. I apply for foundings with them, and then we carry out the projects together. But I carry out also per year 10 smaller projects that I apply for foundings through Ministry of Culture or Grad Zagreb. So that's how I live as an artist. So I will now present some of my artwork. But also, I want to tell you that in 2009, I started to be curious in the field of art and health, so in art therapy. So my diploma work was connected with self-therapy. So that's how I started. And then shortly after I finished my studies in 2013, I started my first PhD. And the first PhD was connected with the preventional group work with children. And that was like a direct therapy. And I finished many educations about creativity, about colors, about psychology, everything that was needed to get as many knowledge as I can, so I can gather the experience in that field. But as I was working in the direct therapy, for me, as I'm really emotional, somehow I realized that maybe I'm too young, or maybe I'm not prepared to continue such a big work and direct work with people. And in 2015, Vital's Art, it is an organization from London, they presented that they painted the Children's Hospital in London. And I was so impressed by their project that at the early 2016, I decided to stop my first PhD and to start another one. And that's how I started and enrolled in the field of aesthetization of hospital environment. And that is like an indirect therapy. So you're using so I'm still working in the context of health and bringing with my projects, I try to bring not just to change the aesthetic context of the environment, but also to bring to the positive context of the mental health of the observers. So this is my PhD work that I did. I did it for 3 months. Every day I was doing it. Usually I'm painting with acrylic colors, with Posca markers, and with colors for indoor walls. Never use sprays and never use any materials that can harm the people who are in it. So I'm always aware about the materials that I'm using. Okay. So this is 7 meter long. I'm always trying to tell like a story in it. And at the early beginnings, I couldn't divide my work, my gallery work, my honor, like my work as an artist. So I couldn't divide it, and I build it through time, my handwriting. So now I have my work that I do in gallery, and then you have the work that I'm doing in the hospital environment, for example. And you will see, because this is the beginnings, and still I'm using a lot of black, and I'm usually drawing a lot. And there are the elements of animals. I'm talking about society, that we are all the same. So there is always some story behind my work. But further on, my handwriting developed, and as I read a lot of documentation and research work that was conducted since 1960s in America and United Kingdom about the impact of art on health, I just changed my handwriting and start to use many green colors and natural colors that are beneficial in such environments. So these are some murals that I did, for example, last year. I'm also working on the Academy of Fine Arts. I have my own class, which topic is aestheticization of public space. But one semester, my students learn about art and health. So every year, and just next week, my students are going to conduct 10 murals in the University Hospital in Zagreb, with whom I mostly collaborate. So more than 120 murals are in the University Hospital in Zagreb, and now it's going to be 130. So every year it's growing. These are also my artworks. In the beginning, I was working a lot, so maybe every year I conducted myself like 10 murals. In the beginning, I did it without foundings. I just wanted to open the door because that was so unique. Because before, people were painting in the hospital, but they painted like Disney cartoons and something that was always connected with something that are recognizable things. But to go in a hospital environment and start to implement artworks that are different, that are like artistic artworks, that was really, really hard at the beginning. Now it's everything changed, but in the beginning, I had a lot of argues with doctors because they had many questions why that should be done, because hospitals must be clean. It was the same thing in the prison. I will talk about it furthermore. Through the time, I also realized that our murals are used as a signalization in the hospital. For example, people are really confused and lost and under really big pressure in the hospital environment. And even though it's written on the wall that it's an eye clinic or a lung clinic, they always ask the hospital staff where is the clinic. And then I started to paint different kind of murals, like a signalization where they are. So this is like a big lung. I also painted like a big heart and a big eye. And so they can know that they are on the lung clinic. So that is, again, further on one step, not just the therapeutic context, but also the context of signalization. Sometimes the staff uses like go straight, and when you see the mural with the birds, then you go left. So it's a really nice story that is built up through time with the murals that were conducted. So they are almost on every step in the hospital now. Unfortunately, we had a big earthquake in 2020, if I remember correctly, and all the hospitals are in renovation, so many of the artworks will not exist anymore. But yeah, with the foundings, we will do them again, hopefully. I will show you now shortly just two animations. In the beginning of 2012, my colleague Lea Vidakovic, she is also from Subotica, but she finished her PhD in Singapore, and now she's working on Lusofna University in Lisbon. She asked me if we can get together our PhDs, because she's an animator, she's doing puppet animations, and to start to do animations for the hospital environment, for the children, of course. So that is the main focus of our work. So in 2022, we received fundings and we started our first pilot project. This is the 2D animation that we did. I will just show it shortly because of the time. In the rooms where children receive therapy, and the beneficials are really, really nice because children are really curious. They like the animations. They always ask why, because it's the duration of animation is like 3 minutes. It's really short, but they are really, really like curious about the animations, and they want to see it again and again. And in 2023, we also conducted the second pilot project. We did 2 animations in it, and we wanted to work with the children who are in the hospital, but hospital didn't allow it because of many ethical committees and because of their health situation, and it was Corona still, and so it was not that easy to go inside and to work with the children in the hospital. But then we decided that we will invite children, so children will work for create work for children. And in this animation is that the children were drawing the animals that we needed. I did the background, and with Lea we did the puppets. So this is like a 3D animation, and it is also was played for few months in the hospital, also room where the children receive therapy. Okay. I can share the animations if somebody wants to see them. I have it on my drive. And after the conduction of that 2 pilot projects, we realized that we want to do a bigger project. So we applied with the Croatian Art Association for the foundings, EU foundings, and we received the foundings from Creative Europe. And now we are in the middle of the conduction of Healing Nature. And the goal of this project is that we are going to create, every country is going to create their own mural, but in the mural there are going to be QR codes. And when the parents or the children scan the QR codes, the animals will go out. So they are going to be in the space, and the children will play and try to chase the animals. So now it's so unique, and nobody did such a thing. So we are now we are doing really big research how to conduct such a thing. And also we created questionnaires. So we are going to conduct a research part with the psychology team from Lusovna University. So I'm really curious how it will, what the end is going to be, because at the end of 2025, we must conduct the murals in the hospital environment. So I hope that everybody will succeed with their work. So in 2017, I was thinking, and there was a big wish for me to do my work and spread my work further on. And I came up to the idea to start to conduct murals in the prison environment. And we had a big meeting with the Ministry of Justice. I presented my idea. Well, in that moment, just one project existed, which was the same as my thought, what I want to do. So I didn't have many materials on which to rely. In that moment, there were none research work that was conducted. So I convinced them that we should try, because I said that there is a lot of enough white colors. So if it's not gonna work out, then we are just gonna paint it through, and like nothing happened. So in 2018, we started the conduction of projects in the prison environment. The focus is that we are painting murals in the prison environment. I always invite artists. In some cases, we are painting with the prisoners, if it's possible, because it's not that easy. But in every project, mostly we conduct workshops with them that are connected with a different type. I always invite some artists, and they create their topics, and that's how we also involve prisoners. But in the painting context, it's really tricky, because they can steal something and then use it for it's not that easy to do murals with them. But in few projects we had that possibility, and it was a really good experience. Also, the problem was through the years, because I conducted 7 projects, and the projects are funded by the Ministry of Justice. The problem was that we didn't have in educational books, so nothing existed on the world level. So in 2022, we published 2 educational books. The title of the project is Arts of Freedom, and we conducted 2 books. One is for general public, that is Why Art in Prison Environment, and the second book is for the education of artists. It's how to conduct. So in that books we have also psychology, what is deprivation, also topics about colors, about art therapy, many fields. We tried to cover many fields. It was also EU project, so we did it on the EU level. So it's really nice, and the books are really nice. I think that we shared my PowerPoint presentation, and there you can find the link on the books if you want to read about art in prison. So these are the links, and here I will stop, because further on I have some like educational part, but not educational, or maybe just to share some key topics, how to work in culture and health, what is important, the collaboration, to read a lot about, to make research, to continuously collaborate with the institutions. As I said, reading is really important, because knowledge exists and we just need to use it. The collaboration with the hospital staff is really important, or with the prison staff, or any staff. So, and to be able to adapt your work to any place. So it's not the same. Even in the hospital, you cannot paint murals in every clinic, or on the neurology clinic you cannot use red colors. There are many things that is really needed for an artist to have the knowledge how to work in the hospital environment, or also in the prison environment. And we will share this presentation, because I think that I'm at the end of my presentation. Here is how to maybe create a project, how to get money. So we will share this presentation, and if somebody is interested, they can look further on for some informations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melinda. I've actually said that you like went through it too fast, the end.
If you
Can we
want, I
give
can
it some
show
more
it.
time? I don't know, what does the room say? I'd like to see to show at least the steps. That would be, I think, would be very useful.
Yeah.
Well, if you could copy paste just the links to the documentation, in case people don't get access to the Google Drive.
Yeah, I will do that. Uh, so where we were, the first step is really important when you're writing the project is the description. What is art for example, what is art in a hospital environment? What kind of projects were conducted? Some informations about the context of the project. Then the concept of the project is what you want to conduct in your project. The goals, you have the primary goals, the secondary goals that are really needed to be written and bold. For example, methodology, how you're gonna conduct the project, and then the dissemination. Of course, I always suggest to carry out also a research part, because it's really important. Even though with questionnaires, and even though if it's 20 questionnaire, that is still a research work that is really, really needed for everybody. For me, for example, it is really important to send the material to the hospital, to make a meeting, and then it's really important to ask from them. I always put the letter from the hospital in the application form, even if it's not needed. For me, it's better to have it. So when they are looking your documentation, if they see that the hospital knows about the project and that they want that project to be implemented, then 10% it's a better chance that you will receive the funding. So gathering the artists, it's really, really important. For me, I don't never invite artists who are like the most famous artists, because I always choose artists with less ego, who can adapt themselves in such a projects, because there are strict rules what you can do and not do, what topics you can paint in the hospital or in prison, what colors. And if you have an egocentric artist who is just thinking about their art, then it's really hard to communicate and to work with such a people. So I always choose people who are who have the knowledge. Now, after 6, 7 years as I'm working on the faculty, of course, I have my students, so I rather invite them because they went through education. Of course, important are the sketches, to show the sketches to the hospital, and then to create everything, to buy the materials, to organize everything for everybody. Of course, to conduct a research part and to do this dissemination of the project. It's on the country level. Advice, I don't know what this is, I cannot move it, but okay. The choice of materials are really important. Understanding the field of art in health, everything comes with experience, but also with a lot of reading. It cannot be skipped. Reading is it is giving us knowledge. It's for me, it's really, really, it was really important to read as much as I can.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So I wonder if there are any questions to Melinda at this point? No? Then we were thinking, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate. I think it would be nice to just put the 2 books in the chat if you could do that. Because
Yeah.
I copied everything from that slide, but I think those are not those books that you talk about. Because you are author of 2 books, which would be nice to show. So now the idea was actually, I'm going to share my screen. I just wanted to very quickly tell you, because I know that sometimes people have to leave and so on, earlier, that we are actually having more artist roundtables. The next one will be on theater, if you know someone there. The shadowing program, which is a little bit similar to the Italian one that Bianca was presenting, will be on arts facilitation for older adults, and it's still possible to register for that. And we have also quite many online capacity building events. So with this, you can all check in the cultureandhealth.eu website. And I think what's also good to know, in case you are interested and have the possibility to come to Turku in Finland, 29th September to the 2nd of October, We will have a research and artist practice conference. We will showcase the work of culture and health, and it will be a wonderful learning and networking opportunity. And also, and I hope, Marie, you can put in the chat this link, that we are also very much working on advocating the members of European Parliament about showing them how culture can contribute to mental health. And this event will be possible to follow online as well as live in Brussels in the Parliament, as long as you register. So I just very quickly wanted to say this in case people want to leave before, but I hope you don't, because now comes the second part where we would put people in roundtables. Now we see that there are around 20 people, so we will probably have 2 breakout rooms. And the reason we thought about this format is to enable everyone to speak. Marie and myself will be in those breakout rooms. We hope also Melinda and Bianca can stay. And basically, we will first have a first round of introduction, so everybody could share their country and also what you plan to do. And feel free to just engage in an open conversation. If that's not, if you need some questions to trigger the discussion, it's like, what do you think is key for working in arts and health? Have you encountered any pitfalls, or do you have any advice for others? Is there anything else you wish to know or share in this area? We are stopping the recording now, but so for everyone to speak